Hey everyone, thank you for watching. So today's video is going to be a new Shop to My Stash video. It's going to be a little bit different from what I was originally planning this series to be, and I will explain why. So today's video is actually going to be a recap of my January Shop to My Stash, my thoughts on the products that I chose to kind of focus on throughout the month, and then I'm also going to be sharing what I chose for my February Shop to My Stash. Now when I posted this video last month, my idea was to do the first Friday of every month be my Shop to My Stash series, and I would show you what I picked out to kind of focus on for that month, and I would do a get ready with me using those, you know, kind of older products in my collection. But as I've been working through products this month, I realized that, you know, I have thoughts on these products that I picked out. Not all of them I want to keep in my collection. Some of them I absolutely love. So I was like, oh shoot, I need to do a recap, then my, you know, the next month's products, and a get ready with me. Like, how am I going to do all of this in one? So I took to the YouTube community tab, and thank you to everyone who left your suggestions and feedback. And what I decided to do was to keep the first Friday of every month the get ready with me portion of this, using the products that I picked out for the month. And then the day before that, I'm going to do my recap and then also show the new products for the month. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that will be a good way to do it going forward. So thank you to everyone who left your feedback on it. So yes, I'm going to go through what I chose out in January, give my thoughts on everything, what I'm keeping in my collection, what I'm deciding to declutter, and then I will also show you the products that I chose out for February, and tomorrow we will do kind of like a chatty get ready with me with those products. So if you didn't see my January video, I will link it down below, but I'm excited to do this series. I'm excited to, you know, be focusing on some of the older products in my collection here. But yeah, if you want to see my thoughts on January's picks, why don't we go ahead and jump into the video. Alrighty, so first up, this is the little bag that I am using for my Shop to My Stash products. And I feel like I have a lot of thoughts on everything that I was trying out. I'm really excited to continue doing this series every month because there were some products in here that I've just been kind of hanging on to that I'm like, why do I keep hanging on to this? I'm never using it. I don't like it. It doesn't look good on me. And then there was some products in here that I was like, dang, that was a really good product. Why am I not using it as much? I want to tell you guys about it. So I'm excited to do this recap here. So I'm just going to kind of pull out of the bag. But for my eyeshadows, I had chose out some Makeup Geek singles. I thought this would be really fun to kick off the Shop My Stash series with because the Makeup Geek singles used to be such a hot commodity on YouTube. So many people are talking about them, making videos on their Makeup Geek favorites. That's why I've purchased so many singles. So I thought it would be really fun to bring it back. So I pulled out two magnetic palettes here. These are kind of like my OG Makeup Geek singles, like Peach Smoothie, Creme Brulee, Cocoa Bear, Shimmer Shimmer. You know, these are the shadows that I was hearing about so much, like what, 4 years ago or something like that. So we have those, and then this other palette here, this is yes, full of like their foiled eyeshadows. So it looks like this. I really do like this palette because it has a nice mirror on it. So this has a lot of the foiled shadows in here, and I feel like I use this a lot. I definitely reached into this one quite a bit for Peach Smoothie, Creme Brulee, Cocoa Bear, Shimmer Shimmer, Bitten Even. I used a lot of these mattes quite a bit out of this palette, you know, especially if I'm just doing like a quick look, just running somewhere or hanging out with friends. I reached into this palette quite a bit for those shades. And then for the foiled shadows, Makeup Geek has some really nice foiled shadows. I do have it on my eyes today. I have Peach Smoothie, Creme Brulee, Cocoa Bear, and then I have this bronzy one right here, which is Legend all over the lid, and then I also have, no, not this one, I have Shimmer Shimmer in my inner corner. I feel like I've done a really good job using these, and I really, really like them. I mean, it definitely inspires me to reach into these a little bit more, because I really do love the Makeup Geek singles, so I've been having a really good time with them. They're definitely not going anywhere in my collection. So the primer that I was using, this is from Amazing Cosmetics. It's the Anti-Aging Face Primer. Again, I've pretty much only used this and then the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow primer that I've been raving about. Sorry if I said foundation, but the primer. Those are basically the only two primers that I really used in January. I use them like crazy, but I really do like this primer. I know that I've reviewed it on my channel, and I know that I've said good things about it, and then I kind of slacked off, and I don't know, there was other primers that were interesting me, but I think it's really nice. It has more of like a silicone feel, but it also makes my face feel really smooth, and I feel like, you know, the foundations that I'm wearing looks really good on top of it, so I am going to go ahead and keep this one in my collection. I still feel like I have a lot of it left, but I think that it's a really decent primer. I believe this is available at Ulta Beauty, so I'll be linking anything that I can down below, but I do like this one from Amazing Cosmetics. Okay, so the foundation that I was using for January, This is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer. I am actually going to go ahead and declutter this. This is not a bad foundation. I would still highly recommend this foundation. I've recommended it to a lot of people. A lot of my friends in real life have bought this foundation because I have recommended it. It's very long wearing. It's a nice full coverage foundation. It's more matte, but also a little bit more natural. Like it's not too matte, especially on my dry skin. I still think that it's really nice. My shade is in Buttermilk, and I think that's the biggest reason why I'm going to declutter it. I just don't think it's a great shade match for me. It pulls a little bit more yellow on me, and I just felt like the times that I was wearing it, I didn't feel super confident in the shade match. I have also had this for an extremely long time, and I still feel like I can get a decent amount of product out, but it has the like large doe foot on here, but I definitely feel like I can notice having to dip back in and dip back in. So I feel like I've made a really good dent in this. I feel like I've definitely, you know, I've gotten my money's worth out of this foundation for sure. But since it's been open for such a long time, and since I'm just not confident in the shade match anymore, I'm just gonna go ahead and declutter this one out of my collection. So that is the Clinique foundation. I grabbed out 2 different concealers, and honestly, I was trying them out like when I first started the Shop My Stash and everything, and then I was like, I don't really want to continue to use these. So this is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and I mean, if you can see, I have a tiny amount left, and the times that I was using it, I had to like really be twisting to get product up. So this is about gone anyways, but I also noticed that it felt really dry on my under eyes. I don't know if it's because I have had it for so long, because I don't really remember. I mean, I've gone through like 5 of these things. This is like, both of these are some of like my OG concealers, and I don't ever remember being more drying on me, so it might just be because I've had it for such a long time. But I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that one. And then also the Maybelline Fit Me. Again, I've gone through so many of these and I really do like it, but I felt like it was almost drier on my under eyes. Could be because it's been open for a while, but also it's really hard for me to get product out. I mean, you can see there's like a dent in there, and I was trying to use this. Was I trying to use this in the video or one of my videos where I was like doing a cut crease or something, and I grabbed for this concealer, and even just to do a cut crease, I had to come in several times to get more product out. So again, it's about gone, but I just didn't want to use it on my under eyes because I felt like they didn't look as good, and I do have dry skin. I can have drier under eyes, especially right now. It's negative 15 degrees outside as I'm filming this. Okay, so I got a lot of dryness going on right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and declutter that one as well from my collection. I did choose out a setting powder. I chose out the Urban Decay All Nighter powder. I do like this powder, but it was one that I just wasn't reaching for a ton, so that's why I decided to put it in the Shopped My Stash series. I still really like it. I have it on my under eyes today. I didn't use anything to set my whole face, but I just used this for my under eyes. I think it's nice for my under eyes and for my face. It's not like my favorite powder in the world, but it'll do. I remember wearing this quite a bit more in the summer because it's supposed to be like waterproof, or make any of your makeup waterproof if you put it on over your makeup. So I'm just gonna go ahead and continue to hang on to this. I think that it's nice. So that one is going to stay with me. Let's see, I have a couple face palettes here. So for I was really reaching into this for contour. This is from Kevyn. This is a part of like a book. It was like a 3-part book, and I think I've decluttered both the other parts, but I kept this around because it does have the sculpting powder in it, and I really do like the Kevyn sculpting powder. It's very highly talked about. There's also a highlight and a bronzer in here, but mostly throughout the month I was using the sculpting powder for contour. It is what I have for my contour today. I think it's beautiful. This definitely isn't going anywhere. And then I also have this face palette from Nars. This is the Veil Cheek Palette. This was a limited edition palette, so it's not available anymore, but I really like it because it has the Laguna bronzer in it, and I really enjoy the Laguna bronzer. It is what I have as my bronzer today. There's also a blush and a highlight. I used the blush a couple times. It's more of like a kind of like a brighter watermelon with a little bit of a sheen, so not something that I totally love. And then the highlight I think is pretty good as well, but mostly I'm reaching into this for the Laguna bronzer. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that, I don't know, I mean, I feel like you can tell that I've made a lot of progress in it, and it did have like a pair of lips on it. You can see the lips are pretty faded there. I use the Laguna bronzer a ton, so this again is definitely not going anywhere because I love that bronzer. So for blushes, I have 2 different blushes that I chose out. One here is from TheBalm. This is in Frat Boy. Again, it's the blush that I have on today. I tried to use as many of these products again in today's video, and this is the one that I reached for the most. I definitely do like TheBalm blushes. I feel like I just was not reaching for this one enough, and I knew that I liked it. So I was like, just put it into your Shop My Stash, use it up, not use it up, but you know, get some use out of it. And I definitely wore this one a ton. This is for sure not going anywhere. The balm blushes are really nice. That one is more of a matte blush. So I also grabbed out a shimmer blush, and this is from Milani, and this is in Luminoso. I have had this for a very long time. This is one of my like original YouTube made me buy it because so many people hyped up the Luminoso. I do know that the new Luminoso from Milani is different. I've had a lot of people say that, which is really disappointing because this is such a loved on blush. I don't understand. Not only did it seem like they changed the formula, but it seemed like they changed the color as well, which is super, super disappointing. I didn't, like I said, I reached for the balm a lot more because it was more of a matte blush. I'm not doing the this isn't just glowy, it's like a shimmery blush. I'm not going for that as much right now, but at the same time, I know that I've had this for such a long time. I was like, do I really need to continue to keep this in my collection? I have so many blushes. I feel like I've been doing better at decluttering. You know, we got this move coming up and everything, and it's definitely inspiring me to declutter more. So I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and pass this on. And I feel kind of bad for it, and I kind of don't want to do it, but at the same time, I'm like, I truly don't reach for this. Even in the summer months when I go for the shimmery blushes, I just don't reach for Luminoso as much. So I think I'm actually just gonna go ahead and like pass it on to a friend. Like, it's still a nice blush, it's still in good condition, so someone else can get some use out of it, but I'm not using enough. And even when I put it in something like a Shop My Stash, I think I only grabbed for it 2 times. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass that one on. A really disappointing product to me. So this was from Pixi. This was in collaboration with Weylie. I grabbed this because there's a kohl liner on one end and a liquid liner on the other. The kohl liner is horrible. Like, I don't know, when I first got this, I must have only been using the liquid liner side, which the liquid liner side to me is just okay at this moment, but the kohl liner does not show up at all. It doesn't show up at all on the waterline, not even a little bit. And if I want to like kind of smudge it underneath my lash line, I have to like press hard and it hurts. So no. And like I said, the felt tip side is okay, but again, I have to press pretty hard. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this because this was a pretty crummy product. So that was kind of a bummer. Okay, so moving on to my brow pencil. So this one is from Benefit. This is the Goof Proof pencil. This is in 2. I pulled this in because I feel like I've had this pencil for the longest time and I like just cannot use it up. I know that Benefit brow products are a little bit more expensive, but they last for such a long time. I'm telling you guys, this was my most used brow pencil for sure in January. I have it in my brows today, and I feel like I did not even make a dent in it. There is still so much product left in here. So I really enjoyed the Benefit products, the Benefit brow products. I wanted to see, you know, what kind of use I could make out of this one if I used it consistently. And I'm telling you, these are, to me, they're worth the money. I had a CoverGirl one that I loved, and I used it a ton, and I used it all the way up. And I've probably used this Goof Proof way more than I used that CoverGirl, and this one is still going strong. So that's kind of crazy to me. That was really interesting to learn because I've never really taken a brow pencil and consistently tried to use it like this one. So it just showed me that these are worth the money. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that one in my collection also. For my highlighter, I chose out from Flower Beauty. This is the Shimmer and Strobe highlighting palette. I have it on my cheeks today. This is such a beautiful highlighting palette. I have these 2 shades on, which are my most used, and I just kind of mix them together. You need such a light hand, and you get such a blinding highlight. Gorgeous palette, nice and affordable. That one is definitely not going anywhere. So I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of both of the mascaras that I grabbed out. My Flower Beauty Zoom In is pretty much done for. Once I used it a couple times at the start of the month, I started using it just on my bottom lashes. I don't get any transfer with this one, which is nice, but there just wasn't enough mascara for me to use my top lashes with. So this guy's about empty. A fabulous mascara. I've repurchased it several times. Definitely would recommend it. The other mascara that I pulled in was from Essence. This was the False Lashes mascara. This mascara was really interesting to me because when I first got it, I actually didn't love it too much. It's much more of a wet formula. I do get transfer like on my from my lower lashes because they are a bit longer, so that's why I was really using Flower on the bottom lashes and this just on my top lashes because I don't get that effect because my top lashes aren't that long. Boo-hoo. But it's almost like I like this more, and people were saying with the Essence, once you open it and it kind of like dries out a little bit, kind of, they tend to like it more too, and I definitely did notice that with this. I have it on my lashes today, and I think that it's really pretty, and I've been grabbing for it a lot this month because I think it does make my lashes look really nice. I probably won't repurchase it though, because there's other mascaras that I don't have to do that for. I don't have to open it, let it sit for months, and then come back and use it, especially because mascara has such a short shelf life. That's just kind of confusing to me. So I ended up liking it again, but I don't think that I'm going to repurchase this one, and it is about gone, and it's been open for a while, so I am going to go ahead and toss that one. So for my lip products, I had quite a few lip products in here. The liquid lipstick that I grabbed out, this is from Ofra. This is in Manila. I did wear it a handful of times throughout the month, and it is pretty much gone. I was really scraping at it. I've had Manila for a very long time. Almost all of the, writing and such on the actual packaging is pretty much worn off. I love Manila. I have a new one already from Ofra and kind of like the rebranded packaging, so I'm excited about that. So I am going to go ahead and toss this one. And then I also grabbed out from Bite Beauty. This is Honeycomb. I have worn this lipstick. This is probably my most worn lipstick in January because of the Shop My Stash, but it's also just such a beautiful shade. I loved it so much. I used it in the Get Ready With Me, and I just think it's beautiful. It's a little mini here, and I've used it so much, and I still feel like I have a decent amount of product left, which is awesome, but I really enjoyed the Amuse Bouche formula, so yes, definitely will be keeping that one. I was so impressed with this lip liner from Colourpop. This is in Oh Snap. I just kind of randomly grabbed out a lip liner. I don't use lip liner a ton, but I have used lip liner like crazy throughout January because this one is just bomb. I have probably sharpened this pencil like 4 or 5 times throughout the month because I've been using it so much. I do have it on today, and then I have the gloss that I chose over it. It's awesome. Colourpop lip liners are very affordable. They're very creamy. I love the shade Oh Snap. A lot of times I was using it just to line my lips and then fill them in, and that was it. Not even topping it with a gloss or anything, or a lipstick, and I just think it's such a beautiful shade. So I highly recommend the Colourpop lip liners. I'll definitely continue to keep using Oh Snap. The lip gloss that I chose was from MAC. This is one of the lip glosses, and this is in Under the Sheets. I love Under the Sheets. I've raved about this lip gloss for a very long time. It's what I have on over Oh Snap today. I think it's beautiful still, so definitely will be keeping that one in my collection. And then the makeup spray that I chose, this was from Scandinavia, the Makeup Finishing Spray. I feel like I'm under halfway now, which is pretty good. I used it today. It's just kind of become my go-to spray after I'm finishing doing my makeup, and I think that's really nice. I would definitely recommend these. I chose to wear these Flutter lashes in Heavenly, and I use them quite a bit. I really like these. They're really beautiful. I noticed the last couple times trying to use them, I was having a lot of problems with the inner corner. I think that they're just time to go. I mean, I'd worn them plenty of times before pulling them into my Shop My Stash, but I just feel like they've gotten to the point where they can go, so I'm also going to be tossing these, but I really do like them. But then we have my February bag for my Shop My Stash, so I'm really excited to show you guys what I chose out. Okay, I will start with the eyeshadow palettes. So I grabbed out 2, just because, you know, I'm a female, I like to give myself variety choices. But I chose out from TheBalm. This is Meet Matte Schmaker. I really like this eyeshadow palette. I don't hear a lot of people talk about it. When it released, I didn't hear a lot of people talk about it, but I really like this palette. You have a nice little mirror here. This one is definitely going to be more like of my travel friendly palette, if you will. But then you have all these different shades inside. You kind of have like, you know, complementary shades to one another. I really love, obviously, like the pinky and the mauve in here, but there's browns and bronzes and the greens and darker purples. There's a black in here. I think this is a fabulous palette. I really like the quality too, so I'm excited to be using that one from TheBalm. I also wanted to grab out this one from Colored Rain. This is the Queen of Hearts eyeshadow palette. I recently did my high-end eyeshadow palette declutter, and I kind of went back and forth on this one because I just don't reach into it a ton. So I was like, what better time to pull it into a Shop My Stash video? So a really beautiful palette. You know, it's very large. I mean, even just packaging wise, it's very large, but you have a nice mirror on it, and you have some tones in here that I really do enjoy. So I'm hoping to get some more use out of the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette because that one got so much hype when it was first releasing. Okay, so let's see here. Now I'm just going to be kind of randomly grabbing. For my brow pencil, I thought that I would put in this one. This is also from TheBalm. This is their Ferocious brow pencil. I have mine in light brown. I like it. It's a little bit more on the waxier side than I prefer, but I don't mind it, and I feel like my brows look pretty decent. And I feel like I might be getting close down on this one, so I kind of want to see what kind of progress I make with this one from TheBalm. For my primer, I don't have a ton of primers in my collection that I feel like are are older, but this one really stuck out to me because I enjoy this one so much and I feel like I rarely grab for it. This is from NYX. This is the Honey Do Me Up Primer. So inside you kind of have like this paddle style applicator. So this is what the applicator looks like, but it kind of helps brighten up the skin, give it a little bit of a glow. And so I figured in these super dry months where like I need all the help I can get, why not pull this one into a Shop My Stash? Again, I really do like it, but I just don't reach for it enough. So that is the primer that I chose out. So for my blush, I grabbed out two different ones here. This one is from Hourglass. This is the Ethereal Glow Blush. I think that it's really pretty. It's a nice light pink. I don't reach into these a ton. The Hourglass blushes are super pricey and I don't feel like it's a favorite blush, but I have it and I might as well use it. So like, why not try to get some use out of this one? Nice little packaging on it too, but I'm going to be using that one from Hourglass. And then I thought I would also pull in the Natasha Denona Blush and Glow Duo. So it has a blush in here and also a highlight, and so I can kind of use this as my highlight too, and then I have another highlighter. But I actually reached for this blush a couple times in January, and I remember that I really did like the blush out of this. The highlight is a little too subtle for me, but I do like the blush and it's more of a glowy blush where the Hourglass is more matte, so I'll have some options here. But it's a really nice pink blush and yeah, I thought I could use it and we got kind of a duo going on here. So the other highlight that I reached for, this is from Lancome. This is one of their dual finish highlighters in Sparkling Peach or Sparkling Peach. This is a beautiful highlighter and I do not reach for it enough, and I know whenever I've done like highlighter declutters or collection videos, I always say this one, like, I don't reach for it enough, I don't reach for it enough. So when I was looking through my highlighters, I was like, why would you not grab out this Lancome highlighter? It's beautiful. It's very blinding. It is a little dark. I'll only be able to wear it when I am self-tan because it is more of like a darker gold, but I am trying to consistently self-tan. We also have a vacation in February, which is very exciting. We're going to Punta Cana with another couple friends of ours, so I'm super stoked about that. So I feel like I should be able to get some good use out of this one from Lancome. It's negative 15 degrees. You have no idea how excited I am to get out of this weather. Okay, so for my foundation, I wanted to grab out this one here from CoverGirl. This is a hot mess, but that's okay. This is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. My shade is in 740. It's a little dark. Again, I've been self-tanning. We will have a vacation. I feel like it'll be okay. I wore the crap out of this foundation last year. I mean, you can see like a pretty large dent in it. Obviously, this is super dirty because that's, I don't know who I am. This is such a beautiful foundation, such a natural finish. I love the medium coverage on it. I've used this foundation a ton. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and bring back the CoverGirl because that is a beautiful foundation. Okay, and for my concealers, I did grab out two. This one here is from Laura Mercier. This is the Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer. I was actually mentioning this, I believe it was in the makeup I don't feel like I got my money's worth out of, because I did purchase this concealer and it was priced here maybe like $29. I have the shade 2N and I feel like it's too yellow on me, which is interesting because it's supposed to be neutral. So I feel like I don't reach for it a ton with the shade match, but it's not absolutely terrible at the same time. But I even said in there, I was like, I should pull this into my Shop My Stash because I want to use it and I want to try to get some of my money's worth out of it. So we're gonna go ahead and use it. I'll see how I feel at the end of the month and if I'm really going to get use out of it or if I should declutter it. So kind of a double reason why I wanted to put it in here. But that one is from Laura Mercier. And then I also grabbed out the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. Again, I really like this concealer. I have the shade C7. I really like it, but I do not reach for it a ton and I don't know why. I think, you know, I just have the concealers that I love or new concealers. 2019 is like the year of concealers right now. There's so many new ones. But I figured, you know, you like it and you say you like it, why not try to, you know, use some of it up? So pulled in this one from Makeup Revolution as well. For my powder, this one is pretty old school. This is from RCMA. It is the No Color powder. So this is what mine looks like. I actually had a friend send it to me, so like I didn't use all of this myself. But I have some in here to use and I thought, why not? You know, it's a loose powder and I like it. I like it, but I don't feel like I've ever really consistently used it, so why not pull this into my project pan? So that is the RCMA No Color Powder, made super popular by Kathleen Lights. And then I also grabbed out the Pure Contour Diaries. I I love this palette so much, and I grabbed it for a variety of reasons. It's a really nice travel palette. I travel with this one quite a bit. You have a mirror on it, but then you have a variety of different shades. This one I have used so much to set on my under eyes, so I figured it'd be nice to have a pressed powder if I don't always want to do the RCMA. I can kind of mix these two for under the eyes as well, but then you also have a contour and a bronzer shade, so I thought it'd be nice to have kind of a variety of products. I don't know if you can see, but you can actually see the imprint of like the circle in that first pan. I feel like I could hit pan on that someday, like someday soon, maybe, not just like someday forever. But yeah, I use this one quite a bit. Again, very travel friendly. I'll probably put this one in my bag to Punta Cana. But yes, we're gonna work on the Pure Contour Diaries palette. For my spray, I grabbed up this one from Flower Beauty. This is the Seal the Deal Hydrating Setting Spray with a dewy finish. I also have the matte one, but again, I'm super dry right now, hydrating all the way. I really like these. I've talked about them both on my channel, and I just don't reach for them a ton. I like the scent they have on them. The sprayer isn't my absolute fave, and you kind of want to, like, I spray it a couple times first and then I spray it on my face, because it's almost like that first spray after not being used a lot is too just like, you know. My bronzer, I just grabbed a, oh no, because I have one in the Pure palette as well, but then I grabbed another single bronzer. This is from number 7. This is the Caramel Bronzer. I have talked about this so much on my channel. I've used this so much, but I feel like it hasn't gotten as much love from me lately. I've been trying out some other ones. You know, I was trying to pan the Physicians Formula. There's been a lot going on with bronzers, so I was like, bring back the number 7 Caramel Bronzer. It's beautiful. I definitely would recommend that one. And then for my mascara, I grabbed this one here from Maybelline. This is the Total Temptation mascara. I really like this mascara. This is my second tube, and I think that it's really good. I've also had it open for a long time, so again, this is going to be kind of a mascara that I'm just going to finish it up after the month. And then I also grabbed a mini here. This is from Burberry. It's their Jet Black mascara. I really can't even remember if I've even opened this mascara, so I'm just going to kind of like go ahead and test it out throughout February. Lashes, I grabbed out a pair from Huda Beauty. These are in Farrah number 12. These only have like a few uses left out of them, honestly, so I'm just going to kind of wear them as much as I can throughout the month and then toss them. Feel like I got some good wear out of them. So I grabbed out an eyeliner from Urban Decay. This is just a black one. The shade is 0. Then for the lip products, so I did a lip liner. This one is from Huda Beauty. This is one of her lip contours in Trendsetter. I do need to go ahead and sharpen it for sure, but that is what Trendsetter looks like. This came in the first lip set that I ever purchased from Huda Beauty. I like the lip liners. It definitely reminds me a lot of the Colourpop, and again, Colourpop is much less expensive, but I thought I would pull this in because I've had it for quite some time. And then also, I just filmed a huge lipstick declutter. It was over an hour long, 225 lipsticks. I swatched a lot of them, got rid of a lot of them. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll link it down below. But I pulled out this little one from Tarte and realized it was almost gone. And I was like, I should just use that up and like feel good about myself. So this is in Rum Punch, but look how much is left. Like, I'm just going to focus on this in February, and I think that I can pretty much use this up. It's a really nice shade. I loved Rum Punch. I actually went on and purchased a full size of it as well. Why? Don't ask me. Just don't ask questions. But it's a beautiful, like, pinky nude, so I'm just going to try to use this one up. It was really funny when I pulled it out in the declutter and was like, oh boy, okay. And then I also grabbed out from Nars. This is one of the Velvet Lip Glides. This is in Roseland. I said that I really love the Velvet Lip Glides, but sometimes I feel like I don't reach for them as much. I kind of go more for the liquid lipsticks. So I thought it would be fun to pull in a Velvet Lip Glide, and Roseland is just one of my favorites. It's a beautiful kind of like rosy mauve there. So I'm going to be trying to get some use out of the Nars Roseland. But after that, those are my choices for my February Shop My Stash. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I kind of pulled out of my collection, what I want to try to focus on in February. Stay tuned for tomorrow because I will be doing a look using some of these products that I pulled out. But I hope that you'll let me know your feedback on kind of this little change in my Shop My Stash, if you're still excited for this series, because I definitely am. But other than that, if you guys did enjoy this video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.